Welcome to another video. Right in front of you, you see another book that we're going to look at. This is Aurora, Fire in the Sky. And the book primarily focuses on different pictures that we're going to look at. Let's begin. Okay, this book is written by Den. Looks like Bortolotti, with photographs by Ichi Takasaka. And most likely I did not even pronounce their names correctly. Let's see. This is a table of contents here. And right away we see a beautiful picture of Aurora in the sky. And apparently it is quite difficult to capture Aurora on film, or rather digitally. So I would give quite a bit of credit to the photographer. This is a fisheye lens, captures the arc of an aurora over Prelude Lake in the Northwest Territories. The lights of the city of Yellowknife are visible on the left. And here is the night of crimson sky. And here we see a picture of the magnificent aurora of March 1989 that was ignited by the most powerful magnetic storm in a generation. The vibrant red display was visible as far south as the Caribbean and Northern Africa. Astronomer Terence Dickinson witnessed its glory from his observatory in eastern Ontario. It is indeed beautiful. I can't really believe that this is a real picture. Can you? And here is looks like forming a yin-yang of green and red. An auroral corona looms above the treetops in Terence Dickinson's rural backyard, and that picture was taken in 2004. The structure appears when an active aurora is directly above the observer, causing the parallel rays to appear as they are radiating from a central point. It does seem like there's some kind of a center here, and the rays are just spreading all over in their different colors. Green and purple, a little bit of pink, a complex interaction between charged power particles from the Sun, the magnetic field of Earth, and the nitrogen and oxygen in the atmosphere produces the aurora, one of the nature's most dynamic displays. I guess in the past, they used to believe that auroras were supernatural. And that kind of makes sense. But now we know that all different colors are basically emitted by atoms and molecules in the atmosphere that are excited by the charged particles of the solar wind. Oh, this one is a unique one also. This is a green aurora, and here it says that Aurora, the Roman goddess of the dawn, flew across the sky each morning to herald the arrival of her brother Helios, the sun. And in 1619, Galileo wrote of the sky at night time, illuminated in its northern parts, and used the metaphor Borella Aurora, or northern dawn. And 30 years later, French photographer and scientist Gassendi adopted the term when describing this brilliant display he had seen in Europe. And Aurora Borealis became the common name for the phenomenon. And here on the right we have a team of sled dogs navigating the northern dawn of Swedish Lapland. Isn't that amazing? Just imagine being there, right there, and seeing this beauty. It looks like a whirlwind of something. Maybe even a labyrinth that you might go through. That's another beautiful picture. And this is northern British Columbia harbor. The auroral light light show begins with the sun, which throws off a stream of plasma that is basically highly charged electrons and protons. It's also called the solar wind. And these particles then hurtle towards Earth and up to 500 miles per second. But even with that fast, it takes them to about a day and a half to get to Earth. And so when it reaches Earth, when it reaches the magnetic field surrounding Earth, some of these particles are directed towards the planet's magnetic poles, one to the north, one in the south. And as these particles accelerate through atmosphere, they collide with atoms and molecules of nitrogen and oxygen here on Earth. And then the energy from the electrons that is absorbed by these gases then release this colored light. We have a nice, beautiful sky with so many thousands, millions of stars. They are so tiny that you can't even count them all. They're so close together, like pieces of sand. Here are the two pictures of green, or rather greenish auroras. And this is a pretty amazing picture also. Different colors. The most common color is actually green, which is emitted by oxygen atoms up to about 200 miles above the Earth's surface. And oxygen atoms that are higher in the atmosphere glow red color. And the purple color, or you can see like pinkish color, is produced by nitrogen molecules, and they're usually lower to the ground, but usually the height of about 60 miles. And there's a red aurora, and red auroras follow the heels of intense magnetic storms on the sun. And during these events, the entire sky becomes blood red, because oxygen atoms are basically bombarded with massive amounts of energy at altitudes of hundreds of miles. And this is on this picture, a less intense aurora. But still there's magnetic storms. But when the auroras are less intense, they create different colors, not just red. And in this sequence of images, taken over several minutes a year, it shows auroras changing form. Typically, aurora appears as 2 or 6 distinct structures, and then it becomes more diffuse as it moves overhead. And the brightest section is usually at the bottom of the curtain, about 60 miles above the Earth's surface. Another pretty picture of auroras. And this is right over the water. There's a little bit of a sun. When an aurora stretches overhead, we see fabulous multicolored display that's called a corona right above. The pinkish color along the bottom edge of the curtain like right here, is emitted by nitrogen. So nitrogen is kind of flows on the bottom, and oxygen can reach like on the top. Interesting. I've never actually seen aurora in my life. It's been always on my bucket list to see it at some point, but just never had an opportunity to do that yet. And aurora can actually take several forms. They can become an arc and kind of follow a curved path from one horizon to the other. Rays that basically extend vertically like beams of light. I would say these are more like rays. And then bands that have kinks or folds along the lower edges. I don't know if we can see beams here, but we've seen them on other pictures before. This is a perfect example of rays, vertical, right? And when the auroral light covers a large expanse of the sky with a little structure, it's called a veil. And this is Nisga's Memorial Love Bed Park in northern British Columbia. And the park is the site of a volcanic eruption that happened more than 250 years ago. Destroyed 2 villages and killed more than 2,000 people back then. And 2 native peoples of Canada's far north viewed the aurora with a combination of fear and reverence. And probably because of the history. And people have always been scared of the unknown. That's probably number one fear for many people. Fear of the unknown. We like to know what's going to happen, but in reality, a lot of the times we don't. And it is scary, but there's no other way. I think life would be really boring if we just knew what's going to happen next. This is just a water column from 19th century. This is over Norway. Again, there's some insight into history. This is a beautiful picture. Red aurora right over a church. It's kind of mysterious. A little bit scary, maybe. Imagine if you are living back centuries ago and you know nothing about auroras. And all of a sudden the sky turns red. Imagine the fear. What's going on? Has God got did the God get angry at us? I wonder what people really thought. It's kind of like us. If we at some point see a UFO or something like that. Okay. And the North American native peoples who lived at mid latitudes had their own stories about the unseen lights they sometimes saw in the north. The Macaw of the Pacific Northwest have a long tradition of whaling, and they believe that the Aurora emanated from the fires of the northern whaling communities, where blubber was being boiled in open pots. So you see, people tried to explain auroras somehow without truly understanding what created the lights. And apparently in Japanese culture, they believe that children that are conceived under the northern lights will enjoy prosperous lives. But apparently this cultural story is an urban legend, and it may have arisen in northern Canada, where most of the aurora watching tourists are Japanese. And the photographer who took all these beautiful pictures, said that everybody in Japan knows what an aurora is. We learn about them in school and on TV shows. They're everywhere, so it's not like they really don't know. It's just an urban legend that somebody created. And this is Lake Laberge. The lake is a 30-mile-long widening of the Yukon River located north of Whitehorse. And that's this beautiful picture. That's very nice. Oh wow, look at that. I don't even know what these are. It seems like, so this is actually a drawing. No, wait a second. Trying to figure out. So it says on facing page top on this one, a 19th century drawing depicts the Aurora Australis that is seen from Melbourne, Australia. I don't know if this picture is real. I can't figure it out. It says here William Crowder, so maybe it is a painting. It's very hard to say. I think it is a painting. Now that I'm reading through it, it says it's a 1947 painting. Very real. It's amazing. What a good picture. Painting rather. And this is Great Slave Lake and Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. looks more like a sunset. The sketch in the left, residents of medieval Bavaria drop to their knees as an aurora paints the sky red. Supernatural, right? I kind of like the purple ones. I don't know about the green ones, although they are the most common, as we learned. And the red ones are pretty too. But the purple ones, there's just something about them. I think the green ones, they are more unrealistic, and like for example, when you look at the sky during the sunrise or sunset, the blue and the purples and pinks are pretty common, but definitely not the greens. That's a really cool one. You can actually see the reflection right here on the bottom. The Milky Way sparkles in the northwestern sky near White Horse, Yukon. During the 18th century, scientists actually continued to believe that the auroral glow was sunlight that's being reflected off particles high in the atmosphere. And if that were the case, then it should be possible to use a prism to separate the light of an aurora into familiar colors of a rainbow. And so then at the end of 19th century, Swedish physicists showed that that's not the case. It's not sunlight. This is a V Lake in the Northwest Territories. I love the sound of paper too. It's another aurora, green aurora in the cloudy sky. Oh wow, this one is kind of shooting up. Unusual pink aurora appears to erupt from hillside in a coastal village in British Columbia and near the Alaska Panhandle. Wow, look at this one. Snow, water, and sky. Very pretty. And this is all blue, bluish purple. I bet it's somewhat different when you actually can see it for real. Wow, look at that. That is unbelievable right here. There's some eruption on the sun's surface. It's amazing how much how much effect sun has on planets. Not even talking about temperature, but also magnetic influence. Wow, this is like, I think it's the camera must be in long exposure. This one is a cool one too. Very neat view. Looks like a fisheye type of picture. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little book here, and it was interesting a little bit, and most importantly, relaxing. Have a wonderful day.